Hey, it's your boy. Not really, though. So, I've been bringing this up here and there throughout my videos this year, and that's the fact that I've been collecting manga a lot more in 2020. You know, the Forsaken year. My collection has bloomed 7 to 8 times or more. Granted, it wasn't much to begin with, so it's honestly not the biggest collection in the world, so unfortunately, I can't slap a number in the thumbnail or title. But one thing I can say about my collection so far is that it is freaking scattered upon the heavens, because even with my first few dozens of volumes, I kind of just bought which ones I wanted and that was it. I didn't really start with volume 1 from every series and go from there. So for anyone who has OCD, I hope you don't mind that I have one series starting from like volume 8 or another where it actually is in order. Also, because I don't really get manga like every month or every week compared to some people, the collection is pretty small, which also means I don't really have a bookshelf. Don't worry, I take care of them pretty well, I guess. I've seen videos on how to do so. Because of that, instead of just slowly showing a bookcase, I wanted to try and do it my way, or more of a base senpai way. Love that dude.
Most manga readers are very young in principle, and most of them are casuals. They read Dragon Ball Super and obviously bad series like Dr. Stone.
Oh yeah, and I apologize for the lighting. I recorded all of this like at 4 or 5, but that's when the sun starts to set now, so I almost got like no light in there. My bad. Alright, enough introduction. Let's get with the one series that I do have completed and what I've been reading for the passing months, that being Fire Punch. It's so far the only series that I have entirely, maybe because there's only 8 volumes, surprise, surprise. I've been enjoying the story so far. It certainly has this level of unpredictability that not many other series have, I could say. Like, trying to predict what this mad lad Fujimoto does next is almost impossible. But besides the story, I do enjoy his artwork as well. With both of these together, it gives off a Samurai Jack feel, you could call it, as there will be some pages and sometimes entire chapters where characters rarely or don't talk at all and the action just speaks for itself. Fire Punch is dope and a mindfuck. Carrying the Punch moniker, volumes 16 through 21 of One Punch Man, I saw season 1 back on Toonami, looked stupid, and loved it since. The volumes I have go from the end of like season 2 to a bit into the Monster Association arc. Great stuff so far. Murata's art is just unspeakable. Absolutely my favorite manga artist by far. I'm purely convinced that one of his 10 fingers belongs to God, and when he draws, that's when heaven lights up from time to time. Too bad these volumes take forever to release. I'm pretty sure I'll know what the One Piece is before I get the Tornado versus Psycho fight in volume form. I hate it here. Moving on to something that might make people scratch their head. Yes, I have a few volumes of Boruto, though I just have volumes 4 through 9, so skipping pretty much anything to do with the movie, and I haven't read 9 at all so far. I'm a huge Naruto fan, love it, and honestly heard all the hate surrounding Boruto when I was kind of on board as well. At least for a while. Mostly because when it first came out, the anime was boring, and still is, and the manga was just retelling the movie, but slightly different. Though after those movie chapters, it's its own story, almost entirely separate. And I guess that's why I wanted to read the manga instead, because it does its own thing, and I'm honestly down for that at least. I'll take it different, even if some characters are just stupid and power scaling is out the window. Okay, this pile is a little odd, so I'll explain. It's the group I like to call, I won't be collecting this series anymore. I just have the 1 volume of Hunter x Hunter because I really wanted to read the showdown with Hisoka versus Crollo, but then realized Hunter x Hunter, in this day and age, is not worth collecting as a series. To me, that is. And the same thing for Dragon Ball Super. I'm sorry, like, I actually can't stand Super's manga. It's so boring. But I do have something that was entertaining for its small time in the spotlight, that being Act Age. I heard about this series and how different it was and was hooked from the premise alone. Bought the first volume in late August, but what also happened around that time as well? Yeah, I was heartbroken, but I read the volumes anyway, and I'm still reading it to this day, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'll probably make a video on it sometime in the future when I'm caught up and everything, so that's why it's in this group. Not because it's something against the author personally, it's because they stopped making this in English immediately as news broke out, so that sucks, but hey, the 2 volumes I have are rare by some cases, so that's neat, I guess. Alright, this group is of the Yen Press boys, as I call them, so Prison School and Kakagurui. Anytime I mention Prison School, people are either fascinated or disgusted. For me, I am absolutely fascinated, of course. I have volumes 8 through 14, as you can see. Starting from 8, it's a few volumes from where the anime ended, and from this year alone, it's easily become one of my favorite series, like, of all time by this point, in terms of manga. Everything and everyone from this story is so stupid. I love it, and Hiramoto's art is very pleasant to look at. Unfortunately, if you know anything about Prison School, I can't open any of these books to a single damn page. I'll probably throw some stuff on screen, for example, to pass the time, but like the other 86%, I can't show. You guys have the internet though, so have fun. Something I can show is the start of Kakagurui Twin, which is a prequel to the original story. In this one, best girl in character, Mary Saotome, is the main lead this time and follows her adventures of going to Hakao Academy and her first year, and see firsthand how she handled the academy and the art of gambling. I wanted to start with Twin first, at least, because I've seen a bit of the main story, and Yumiko is great and all, but Mary is definitely a more dynamic character, and I'm all for it. Alright, from looking at this group, it's self-explanatory. The Super Shonen or Viz group, because Beastars is also there, just vibing. From the tippity top, the lone volume of Chainsaw Man. I will read it when I get the chance in second volume, so you don't need to try and rush me to read it. I know all about it. I wouldn't say I know all about it, but I know the hype surrounding it, so I'll get there when I get there, okay? Volumes 19 through 24 of My Hero. I very much enjoyed the Gentle arc, and from volume 21 and onwards, Endeavor and Shigaraki are pretty much the core focus, and the story really takes off from there. Horikoshi is a man who really made it big, and I'm honestly happy for him, because right now in the manga, it's just people who are anime watchers, I don't think you're gonna be ready for season 5 and onwards. It's gonna be a headache and a half. It's something else, that's for sure. Next are the first 4 volumes of The Hottest Boy in Town, not counting Gojo, that being Jujutsu Kaisen. I really like the dark and gritty colors on the covers. I will also read this by next year when I have just a few more volumes and get into the flow of reading it. I'm looking forward to all the insane and twisted shit that happens. This next row is different, and something I'm really looking forward to getting into again is Radiant. And why it's different to begin with is because it's a French manga actually, so that's cool. I've only read the first volume so far a while ago, and it was fine. I'm planning on getting most of the other half of the series in time for my birthday, so I can really sit down and read this non-stop. There is an anime, and most fans say to just ignore it and read it instead. The best way to describe this series is that it's a love letter to shonen manga in general, and I'm down with that. Plus, one thing I adore are the color pages added at the beginning of each volume. More series need to do this. I love this sort of thing. Add more color to their work, mostly in official releases at least. Radiant has a very whimsical color scheme to it, and it looks very pretty. I like it. And the last is Beastars, which is, you know, Beastars. Make your furry jokes down below. I'm a fan of all 3 of these series that aren't even manga, so it was probably inevitable I watch or read it in time. As you can tell, Beastars doesn't have the whole superpower aesthetic going for it. It's a lot more grounded and real in their world, but I'll still look forward to reading it. That'll be fun. And the last group are my top 2 favorite series, One Piece and JoJo. That probably sounds typical, but hey, whatever. My One Piece volumes are all over the place, like singular volumes and a few omnibuses, and they're mostly just of arcs that I really liked and wanted. So most of Alabasta, I have to have Enies Lobby, and the Reverie is GOATA tier. That's just how it is. And for JoJo, it's also kind of all over the place. I have the final fight of part 3, so Jotaro versus Dio, like that actually takes up the entire volume. And then just 2 volumes of part 4, like in the middle of it. Mostly because I mean, look, man, early part 4 Josuke still scares me, so yeah. But I'll definitely get all of part 5 when that starts up in the summer of 2021, and go on from there and get part 6 whenever that gets made, like in 4 years, and then part 7 and so on. And then we'll still never be done with JoJo by that time, so that'd be good. And I'll see if I can get the other parts as well. If I'll ever get all of One Piece, that'll be the time when I really have money to burn, and that'll be that. And that's my whole manga collection as of 2020. It will for sure grow by next year, and I have another video coming out kind of going into that and other series I want to get into by the start of next year. And if you want to be sure to watch that and not just stumble upon my videos, I hate saying this directly, so I'll do it indirectly instead. You know what to do with those buttons down below if you want to be here for those. I will be making more manga type videos in the future, so look forward to that, or stick around for me. The latter is always better. So have fun with that, and that's everything I have to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Stay safe out there. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do. Bye.